Hey, what's going on, guys? Andrew with Blackstar Offroad, and today we're looking at this gorgeous 2016 Jeep Wrangler Willys. And if you'll notice, this one actually comes straight from the factory with half doors. Now, the nice thing about having half doors is it gives you the ability to look outside of your door, look outside of that window without being constrained by the door itself. Usually what most Jeepers will do if they want to enjoy the scenery and view the obstacles, view their tires as they're going over rocks, is they'll remove their door completely. So this gives you the ability to have just as much view without having to remove your doors. It's actually the only Jeep we have in our entire lineup without the full door. It has the half door option. This one specifically has the rag top. We don't have the rag top on it because we kind of wanted you to get a view of what the Jeep would look like when you have a convertible, when you're on the trail. Obviously the soft top is super easy to install or throw back up if it rains or you just want to ride with the top on. The nice thing about this Jeep is it comes set up with a lot of goodies. So starting at the front of the Jeep, you'll notice we have a custom black grille. So this actually comes on the Willys Jeep's standard. I had to spray paint my grille black to get it like this. If you look inside the grille, you actually have these Oracle lights. These are pretty cool because they look just like the JW speaker LED lights, which are actually pretty pricey, and it has the gorgeous halo that goes around the edge. You're definitely going to want to make sure that if you have any type of Jeep, you have LED lights, because the stock lights on the Jeep Wranglers are almost a road hazard. I had stock lights for a good 3 months and I felt like I needed to drive with my brights on all the time. So you already come with the aftermarket LED lights. This obviously is a steel bumper that's outfitted with a winch, with shackles, and it also has the fog lights in there. So starting with the winch, this is an X2O Smittybilt 9,500 pound wired and wireless winch. I have the winch remote right here. You just press the wireless button and you're good to go. So this is a really cool winch. It's wireless and wired. I personally have a wired winch on my Jeep, and I definitely wish that I would have gone with the wireless. Reason being is because usually when you're on the trail and you're stuck, there's a lot of rocks that you're at a weird slippery angle. This winch comes with synthetic line. So the nice thing about synthetic line is it's a lot safer than your standard steel line. Synthetic line is made to drop if it was to ever break, whereas steel line could definitely be a headache if that line breaks and goes loose on someone. You have a steel bumper, which you will definitely need if you're going to be off-road. It's going to protect you from rocks, from hitting animals or other vehicles that might run into you. This one comes outfitted with a bull bar. So the nice thing about these bull bars is they're supposed to protect you from damaging the winch if you run into something, and they also protect you if you just so happen to run into an animal when you're on the trail, or even if you're on the highway. You know, you never know what can happen. But and it comes with a nice little handle here so that you can pull the line without having to put your hand on and getting any splinters on the actual synthetic rope. So this bumper comes already with the shackles, the steel shackles that you're going to need to hook your straps on during a recovery. Going to the hood, this Jeep Willys comes with a high lift jack. So this is a high lift extreme, and the reason for that is because it has this piece on top. Now, high lift jacks are actually made to do a lot more than just be used as a jack. They can actually be used to winch yourself out of a specific situation. If you got a flat tire, maybe you're stuck on a rock. They have many uses, and luckily this one's mounted on the hood, so it makes it for easy access if you ever need it. So the cool thing about this Jeep, as you can tell, is it is lifted. So this specific lift is a Teraflex ST3 lift. So that actually stands for street and trail, and the reason for that is because this specific lift comes with Falcon shocks. It also comes with the Teraflex bump stop, hydraulic bump stops. You have the sway bars here that have a quick disconnect, so you can quickly disconnect your sway bar, and it gives your Jeep a lot more articulation when you're on the trail. This is specifically the same lift that I have on my Jeep, so I wanted to have the best of both worlds on the highway and also off-road, so I ended up with this lift, and I've had it for a couple years now, and I'm definitely in love with it. So it's the lift that I recommend to everyone, and luckily they put it on this Jeep. So also, as you can tell, these are some extremely beefy tires. These are actually 37-inch Nitto Ridge Grapplers, and they come outfitted with the Black Rhino Armory wheels. So these are really cool. This is a super popular style. Everybody's loving these rims, and every time we go to order them, they're out of stock. So it's definitely a style that it's going to be in for a while now. Nice thing about this Jeep is it comes right here with rock sliders. So a lot of Jeeps have the cheap plastic steps. The downside about having plastic steps is if you ever need them when you're on the trail, they're going to get ripped off once you actually hit a rock that you need to slide on. So these are metal rock sliders that are actually made by Teraflex. So that's going to protect your doors from getting slammed by rocks or getting stuck because you just dented them in on the trail. You do not want to be in that situation. Now going to the back area here, you can see that we have a massive tire on here, the 37-inch tire with the Smittybilt tire carrier hinge. So the reason why you want these Smittybilt or any tire carrier in general is because you have a lot of weight with this tire and you need to reinforce the hinges. Now moving to the inside, you'll notice that these doors are actually different from your standard Jeep doors. Most Jeep doors have like this webbing right here that gets really wrinkled and it kind of falls apart. I wish that they would actually build the doors like this on every Jeep because it has like that crisscross, like that metal looking pattern, and then you can throw your stuff in here without having to worry about a net that falls apart. But let's go inside. All right, so I just turned her on. And the nice thing about this Jeep is we just put this freshly installed Alpine Restyle system. So the cool thing about this is you have 9 inches of screen real estate, you have navigation, you have the option to put a backup camera in here, and then you also get a bunch of cool vehicle information. So it gives you your PSI, gives you all the gauges that you're definitely going to need if you are an off-road junkie and you want to make sure that all your levels are correct. And there's definitely a ton of cool functionality in these Alpine systems. And the nice thing about these Alpine systems is they're actually made to be weatherproof. So if you leave your top off, this is made to be rained on. You're not going to have any issues. And the way that it fits on the Jeep is pretty cool because it almost looks like it came stock with the Jeep. So yeah, and then you also have all the other goodies that a Jeep Wrangler comes with. So that's going to be your 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low. You got your downhill assist button, traction control. You got AC here, your 12-volt DC location right here as well. And right now we actually have one of these Rugged Ridge shades here, which you can use to protect yourself from the sun. Maybe you're having a long day on the trail, and if the sun ever gets to be too much, then you can always throw that soft top back on. So that's usually how I like to ride, especially during the summer and springtime, is with a soft top, because you get a lot more flexibility when you're on the trail, or even when you're just going on a cruise, a weekend cruise. Having the top down is just a whole nother experience, and that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people buy Jeeps. This is the JKU version, which means that this is unlimited, meaning that you have 2 rows of seats. Just looking at this rig looks like a ton of fun. Like you're gonna make a ton of memories with your top down. And I know on my 4-door JKU, I definitely have. Opening the back, you also got a ton of room. So if you got tools, if you got a dog, you got camping stuff, you can throw it all back here. And then you got extra space down here as well. And the cool thing about Jeeps is they already come with spots for you to put your door hinges, your roof screws, your other door hinges. So yeah, it's definitely a unique vehicle, being that it's a Wrangler, 1, and 2, that it's a Jeep Willys. So if you guys are interested in checking this specific Jeep Willys out, I made sure to put a link to that in the description below. Don't forget to check out all the other options we have. This is pretty much Blackstar off-road Jeep heaven here, where we have one of everything, including lifts, a bunch of overland setups, wheels, tires, and pretty much anything you can imagine. We also install the lifts ourselves. We have a separate location where we install all of our lift kits, wheels, tires, and modifications. So yeah, check us out, blackstaroffroad.com, or look up our Anaheim location, and I'll see you in the next one.